Welcome back to the Aftermatch with Kirsten Beav. Come for the rugby, stay for the Aftermatch. Well, you're also staying for the interviews. We've been dropping an interview a week. We've had Matt Giddo, we've had Ronan O'Gara, and another to come this week as well. We won't tease it too much, but it's a good one. It's one that you'll want to tune in for on Wednesday, but make sure you hit the subscribe button so you always get notifications when we do put some extras in. Talking about extras, Beav.
Yes.
You almost made the most genius call in rugby history 4 months ago when you said a Lions series win. You came within a cleanout.
Within a cleanout?
Within a cleanout.
Yes.
Of it going to a third. The Lions series, I'm talking.
What a game of footy at the MCG. And I guess it was the game that we'd all hoped for, that it was starting to sort of develop and see from Australian rugby over the last 6 months, watching all these players. But in the end, the experience, the class won out. But what a game of footy. It
was unbelievable. And I think the most unbelievable thing was how vastly improved the Wallabies were in the space of 7 days. Like, did Rob Valentini and Will Skelton make that big a difference?
I think it was two things. I think those two made a massive difference. We'll get into it, but the butterfly effect of what they brought had effects in this part of the game, had effects on the Lions parts of games. So they were massive influence. But also, I think that first game in Brisbane, you got to remember, this is a Wallabies team that has had a real tough time of it of late, particularly against big opposition. And they've been watching this team in red go trampling all through Australia and been sitting back and just watching it every Wednesday and Saturday, every Wednesday and Saturday. They've seen this team and they've been themselves, just snuck past Fiji, confidence probably low, and they're thinking, how are we going to match these guys? And then they get hit in the face with that onslaught in Brisbane. And they were thinking, geez, all the hype's been real. We're just out here making up numbers. But they found their way back into the game in Brisbane and they got a little bit of a window there where they were dominating and they were having some success. So I think you couple that with the fact that they went away from Brisbane thinking, okay, we've got that one out of the way. We can compete and, dare I say, we can win. And that would have been the belief all week. Chuck in a couple of campaigners. You got to remember, guys like Will Skelton. Skelton plays in the north. His team, La Rochelle, who's been their little bunny of late? It's been Leinster. And Leinster contributes hugely to the Lions. So Will Skelton wouldn't have had any fear.
Oh, so he's in their head.
Well, he'd been coming in he would have not had any fear going out there, and you could see it right from the start. He knew he was there to make a difference, and so he was pushing and shoving. He was fronting up to anyone he could. Obviously, we know Valentini's class. We watch him every single week here in Super Rugby for the Brumbies and the Wallabies. He's been the one Wallaby, I think, in the last probably 3 or 4 years that if they're picking a World 15, he would have to be considered. And the effect that those two had on both sides of the ball, the Lions weren't just able to smash through and get that go forward that they got in Brisbane where the Wallabies team was absorbing tackles and they were just going back to ruck after ruck, which allowed Jamison Gibson Park and Finn Russell to play their own game and play whatever they wanted. So they straight away fixed up that physical aspect, and then when they carried with purpose, they carried with intent, and all of a sudden the Wallabies halves were going forward to things. Gordon, I thought, was outstanding. He played
80 minutes. He
had to play 80 minutes, but I thought Gordon for the Wallabies, that was probably one of his best performances at that level. And he had a platform all of a sudden. Liner had a platform because they had big boys carrying hard and getting over the advantage line, which created ruck speed. If you can't have ruck speed, you got nothing to go off if you're a back.
Tom Wright.
Yep.
Not just his performance, but that try.
Yes.
The try that Joseph Suali'i opened up the field and set him up superbly for. How about that try for Australian rugby? Does that show the potential in this team if all things go correctly?
Yeah, well, and straight after a kickoff. So they're feeling good about themselves. The confidence is starting to flood through. And then all of a sudden, I think Jorgensen makes a nice little break. I think we're starting to see the reason why there's a lot of people that rave about Jorgensen. Obviously, he's so young. I think he's only 20 or 21, but he's had such an injury-riddled start to his career. But yes, then Joseph gets the ball on front football. A retreating Lions team. I think he beat Bundy's inside shoulder because Bundy was worried about numbers, so he was looking out. And then I think he's outside one of the props who was caught in the middle because it was straight off the kickoff. and they'd split their defensive line. So Joseph starts to get into the game. We never saw him in Brisbane, and all of a sudden you start to think, you're right, this is going to be their day. But lots of those guys, I think, from a moving forward point of view, Kirst, they've been very good, but then sometimes in the biggest of games, probably haven't really nailed it. But you think about guys like Wright, I think, considering the opposition, that would have been his best game for the Wallabies. Gordon, I mentioned, I thought it was awesome to see Liner go again after all the conjecture about what do they do. Geez, he's tough, isn't he? I can't imagine he's much bigger than Damien McKenzie, but he has got toughness about him. He fronts. Being under those high balls is not a place you want to be when you're not a fullback or what have you. And he was just, he didn't nail them all, but he kept putting his hand up to go after him. So love the performance that Liner bounced back with.
Beav, if everyone's not talking about your bold prediction for the Wallabies to beat the Lions in the series,
yes.
The other thing that's got tongues wagging, it's the incident.
Yep.
The clean out.
Yep.
Legal, not legal, should the try have stood? I know Henry Pollock was lauding over Hugo Keenan.
Wasn't he?
He was like a Farah, maybe because they got lucky.
Yep. Look, for me, there's two sides to this. Should the try have been allowed? Personally, I think no. Why? Because we stopped the game, we had it up on the big screen, we had every official looking at it, and if we are refereeing it, there was a shoulder on a neck, a shoulder on a head, whatever the scenario. If we're going to stop the game, that's the case, no try. I say that though, Kirst, I know it happens at every ruck. So the game has backed itself into a corner. The game has said that that's a penalty, potentially a yellow card. Mitigating factors will reduce it from a yellow or a red card. The game has said that's the situation. It's not the referees, it's not Wallabies whinging, it's not Lions whinging or what have you. The game has said that is where we're at. Do you see that in every single ruck? Could we see that in every single ruck? Of course we could. Should Tizano have Holly jumped out like he'd been shot? No.
People are saying, get him on home and away next week.
But the reality is there was a shoulder to the neck and it was on the big screen. And where also the referee let himself down is his excuse for not giving the penalty was it was simultaneous, the body height change. Well, no, it wasn't. I mean, everything, Sam Cane's penalty in the World Cup final was slowed down. So therefore, this incident was slowed down. Joe Schmidt, who was going through every emotion you could have imagined 2 minutes after the game, had already seen it. He was there first. It might have only been there for a split second, but he was there first. So you can't say, hey, the reason I'm not giving that is because it was simultaneous. No, it wasn't. He was there first in a split second. So did I think it should have been a try? No, it shouldn't have been because we stopped the game to look at it. Do I think that's when rugby should be headed? No, we don't want a penalty for that. But that is where we're at right now.
So what do? You've got to change the laws.
You've got to change the laws. Or you can't go and look at things. You can't.
The TMO's the problem.
Is
that what the problem is?
And then the adjudication of it. Like, what if you're going to put it up on the big screen, then you have to rule that incident.
But they didn't.
You can't
so they
rule
did
the
get
moment.
It wrong.
They got it wrong.
They got it wrong because of what you're saying. That
Yes.
World Rugby have, in the last few years, cracked down on this, and we know that they have. So once it was put on the big screen and we saw, yes, this is what has happened, they should have called it out, but they didn't.
I would have had no issue if try gets awarded, try, sir, no, we're not going to it. I saw it, it's fine. Like, that would have been fine. But we stopped the game, we had it on the big screen. And in the end, now we're robbed of a decider. I think that's what a lot of my opinion comes. I'm a fan. I want the drama of a game three. I just want a game three.
Yeah,
we've got a game three, but it's not going to be the same.
If this was the All Blacks, not the Lions, over the Wallabies, and they won that moment, would you take it like it was a win, or would you?
Of course you do.
So you do.
Because, I mean, look, the William Medalist...
We're neutrals in this, so...
The William Medalist title trophy at the moment doesn't have an asterisk beside 2023 because Sam Cane got sent off, doesn't it?
And we were robbed from that
well,
one.
We feel we were robbed.
We were robbed. 1 point.
Yeah.
One point.
Slow-mo. You want to slow everything down, put it on the big screen, then you're going to have to adjudicate it. Don't adjudicate it. Don't have it on the big screen. Don't stop the game. It's as simple as that.
No, we do not have a decider. Yes, we have a third test. But one of the coolest things I did see, and I'm not sure if you saw it, but after everything was said and done, at the MCG after the 90,000 had left and the media had all been done. The Lions boys all took plastic chairs into the centre of the MCG and just sat around in a circle playing music and just soaking in this coliseum and everything that they'd just achieved.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
It's such an iconic world sporting venue that, it wouldn't be lost on those boys, and the excitement of getting it done at the MCG. Like, that would have been, I would imagine that would have been a part of the talk all week. Let's get this done at the MCG. They might have themed their week around it or something like that. Let's make history at such a historical venue. So, no, it was cool scenes, and you see quite a lot these days, don't you?
Have you had a victory that you've celebrated in such a way? Do you remember what the best celebration was for you?
Don't think I ever sat anywhere after the game. No. Yeah, I've had some wonderful celebrations, but
Any you care to share?
Well, it's very topical, but the NPC's about to start up.
Yeah.
And so I remember we won the '06 NPC, and that's when the NPC was still loaded. They used to put the All Blacks back in from about round 6 onwards, and we beat a Wellington team that included the all-time greatest midfield, included Tana. I think Ma had to play on the wing because of Tana was still there. Conrad, Jerry, Rodney, they were all there. And we beat them in Hamilton in front of a packed house, sold out by Tuesday. And for celebrations, me and Kahui, we are 2021, and we had our flat in Hillcrest, which is the university part of town. And unbeknown to us, after festivities in the great city of Hamilton had wrapped up, I didn't realise that half of Hamilton was going back to mine and Cux's flat. I don't know if we actually volunteered it or got told it, but no, we spent the next 2-3 days there with the entire team and half of Hamilton. And I guess the highlight of that was on about the Tuesday, we got a text saying, hey, boys, got a photo today, make sure someone brings the trophy. Where's the trophy? Unbeknown to us that my great mate Sidavini, he had actually broken the trophy. And at the time, he thought, as a way of trying to rectify the issue around the trophy, put in the freezer.
What does the freezer do?
Don't know, but something in City's head at the time suggested that if I put this in the freezer, it might fix the issue.
It'll just freeze it back together.
That may have been the rationale. So I don't know what the Air New Zealand NPC was made of at the time, but that was how.
So did the trophy end up at the photo?
It ended up at the photo. Once City sent a message to the group, check your freezer, Beaver.
And was it in one piece?
No.
So the trophy and glue.
Trophy and glue.
To the picture.
Absolutely.
The NPC is not far away, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But our Black Magic moment of the week, since there is no All Blacks on at the moment, we are going to do a Black Magic All Black, iconic All Black moment of the week. We can't decide the first one, so we're going to put it out to you. 1996 v 2015. What was the most iconic All Black team? Beav, if you look at the 1996 team.
Yes.
This is in your childhood era. Some of your heroes were on the field for this team. That is a backline that I think is unmatched in All Black teams. Take us through that backline.
Yeah, well, Marshy and Mertz at 9 and 10. Little and Bunce, the iconic midfield combination. And it was Jonah, Cully, and the golden one, Jeffrey Wilson. So as far as back three goes, pretty unrivaled. And, of course, the forward pack, it was the basis of the great Auckland and Blues forward pack with that front row of Fitzpatrick Olo and Craig Dowd, Robin Brooke, Ian Jones, and Sam Brooke, Cromfell when fit. So these are just some of the massive names. Of course, when they went and won the 96 tour, the first ever to be won in South Africa, and you talk about iconic moments, for me it's Fitzy smacking the ground and what have you, but they also had a lot of turmoil there because they had a lot of injuries. And so I know we rattled off Marshall and Mertz and that, but guys who played massive roles on that tour to get the job done were guys like Simon Colhane, John Preston and the likes, and they filled in. Glenn Osborne, I think, played a couple of the early tests. So just like unbelievable. You're right, they were my heroes as I was a kid, so you can just remember all that stuff. But then you look at the team that won the World Cup, the 2015 World Cup, they essentially almost went unbeaten from 2011 through to 2015. I think they were hitting at about 93% during that 4-year cycle. And then Well, we just talked about the midfield. If that's not the greatest midfield, then this is the greatest midfield when you've got Conrad and Ma. You've got Sonny on the bench coming on for a cameo. Obviously, 9 and 10, two of the, if not world's greatest, certainly our greatest, and Smith and Carter. Back three that certainly you don't sneeze at, and Nehe Milner-Skudder having the year of his life.
Yeah.
You had the bus.
Julian Savia.
Yeah, who was essentially the closest
He was
thing.
Jonah.
He was the closest thing there's ever been to Jonah
Yeah.
in some of those tries, and obviously the great Bender at 15, and then the forward pack. I know the Woodcock unfortunately got injured before final, but Miolamu was there, McCaw was there, the greatest loose forward trio we've probably ever had, and McCaw, Kano, and Reed, and Whitelock, and Brody. So, geez, names.
So for you, what was the most iconic team? Most iconic?
Iconic is probably
not the word.
No,
Because iconic would be,
probably the 96.
but the greatest.
Yeah, you have to go 215, I think. Just on, if you were to pick an all-time All Blacks 15,
Yeah.
where would what would produce more players for that 15?
You think it would be 2015, or do you think it would be pretty even?
I think 15 maybe. I mean, we promised this for a show later in the piece.
We are going to name an
We
all-time.
will name one, but I haven't had time. But you'd think 15 might just produce a couple more.
So for you, comment away, what is the greatest All Blacks team of all time? 1996 or 2015?
What about your moment for that 15? What's your iconic moment?
Beauden Barrett.
Beauden Barrett, go Beaudy,
Go, Beaudy, go!
See, that obviously sealed
Where
it.
were you? I remember being in Sumner at a mate's place. They'd pulled the television outside. It was like 5 a.m. Everyone descended on this house, and it was just packed outside. They'd built like a little stand, because I was at broadcasting school in Christchurch, and everyone was just up off their feet for that moment.
I was lucky enough to be over there because the local travel company with All Black Tours there, they had a Beaver and Ted tour for the semi-final final. So we had a chartered plane over. So we took a whole lot of Kiwis over just for the semis and finals. I was at the end of Twickenham where the boys were playing away from in the second half. And my moment, and call me this is the rugby nerd in me, and
DC.
I guess number 10 nerd, is DC's drop kick.
Yeah.
Often forgotten about. But I just as the pass was going, I could just see what his body was about. I was going, he's going to have a pop here, because again, we talk about the triple threat of standing in a position where you're not giving away your option. So he was in a position where he's either running or passing, and then he quickly drops the drop goal, which of course New Zealand and DC and all the rest of us have been so heavily criticised for not having part of your artillery for such a long time. He just snapped it out, and it was the most pure drop kick. I was literally right behind it in the stands, and that was one of the moments that I'll remember from that game.
So you were fanboying there. Never mind Beauden Barrett and one of the great tries.
Well, from where I was, it seemed so far away.
Yeah, you were just watching his back just get further and further away.
And I think if I had some sports ears
if you were
listening to Marshy
and the great Grant Nisbet call the try, it would have been different.
Exactly. But yeah, I love the drop kick.
What was your most iconic moment from 2015? DC or Beauden Barrett?
Of course,
I think I know who's going to win here.
Fitzy pumping the ground, or was it another drop goal? Did Zinni get another drop goal in 96 series? I feel he did. He did. So,
He did. So, there you go.
Just another moment for you in the Black Magic.
You can vote in our Black Magic All Blacks moment of the week, and what you think the greatest team
Prize
was as
pack,
well.
of course.
Prize pack coming your way.
Let us know.
Yes, that is our Black Magic moment of the week. The NPC is here.
Yep.
And we've got NPC Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Beav.
Can't wait. Obviously, huge part of the rugby, I guess, fabric of this country. It's what, I guess, our generation and earlier all grew up idolising, dreaming of being a part of. So cannot wait. And the NPC... It's such a fascinating scenario. You've got guys who are playing this who would have been on a whisker of making the All Blacks.
Yeah.
And you've got guys who 3 or 4 months ago were on the tools in provincial New Zealand starting a club season, and then all of a sudden they combine as teammates or they combine against opposition. It is truly amazing. They've had to down tools, and they're now a professional rugby player for the next 3 months.
Yeah, they're no longer concreters or
plumbers,
working
what
at
have
the
you.
steel factory.
No. Shout out to Glenbrook Steelmore. They've now got their opportunity to be whatever they want to be.
And we have seen people, I know it doesn't happen often these days, but we have seen people pick up Super Rugby contracts and become All Blacks that have come through this competition through professional jobs.
We've seen guys have NPCs, and it's the first time we've ever heard of them go on the end of your tour.
Yeah.
So if there's a 19 or 20-year-old that just jumps out of the sky, then you never know. He might be what they used to call the apprentice or projects.
Well,
or
I'll tell you who's had a lot of success in recent years. Taranaki.
Yes.
have had a lot of people that have been plucked out. Your Tupou Va'is, your Josh Lords.
Yep.
Who was the concreter for the
Rona.
Chiefs? Rona.
Yep.
Honestly, they've had quite a few. Taranaki have got these players that come through club and seem to slot seamlessly into super or the next level.
Well, but before that, we had Brown and Boucher get called in off the tools just to play the Welsh game when all our All Blacks and Māori All Blacks were away during the Super Rugby window break. So it just shows there are guys ready to go, and there's always somebody that just comes out of absolutely nowhere of this NPC.
Yeah, I can't wait to see who it was. I was going to get us to predict who it is, but we don't know who these people are. They're about to emerge, and they're usually the players that you can see them pretty early on because they stand out in every single game. So they make a name for themselves really early in this competition. If you are to pick, though, if you are to pick your Dwayne Monley medalist, which is the player of the year, which is voted on every single week, who are you going for? I'll tell you mine.
Go on.
He is playing in the NPC for the first time this year.
Wow.
For Hawke's Bay. His name, he goes by the name of Miracle Whailangi.
Wow,
He is my Dwayne Monley medalist. Miracle Whailangi Beav. How does this guy go in the NPC this year? Because I think he rips up.
Oh, he will. Absolutely. And he's got on a good team. Hawke's Bay, always traditionally, they always box pretty hard for a team that's not a Super Rugby base. They'll be very, very abouts. They've got a good nucleus of Super Rugby players. But Miracle, I actually just had a shiver down my thinking of some of these poor NPC players who, as we say, 4 months ago were just starting their club season because he has physically destroyed people in Super Rugby. And there's no doubt it's a step down. And I am looking forward to seeing that.
You've got fears for some
I possibly
people.
have fears for any skinny first fives who think there might be a gap there and they go sneaking down that channel because Miracle has destroyed people physically. He carries so strongly. I think he'll do a lot of damage that way. So that's a good shout, actually.
Who's yours?
Well, I'm big on, when it comes to the NPC, if you've got a first five who has Super Rugby experience or Super Rugby starting level, I think you'll go a long way as far as your team success goes. So I am putting my eggs, and I've just remembered now he's playing for Auckland, so I don't like supporting Auckland.
Stephen Petafeta.
Stephen Petafeta.
Is he the only world class, you would say, 10 in this competition?
You would have to go closer. Jacob's obviously emerging, still emerging.
So
but
for the Naki?
He's for the Naki.
The Naki will go all right again.
Oh, look, if you're a first five of,
Aaron Cruden at Waikato?
Super Rugby level, yes, of course, Aaron Cruden. You like it's you should dominate NPC.
Caleb Trask, Bay of Plenty.
Trasky, yes. You should be able to have massive influence. If you've got a half decent pack in front of you, a quality 10 will influence this. I mean, let's not even forgetting Rivers Rayhana now. He's a Super Rugby.
Northland.
He's a Super Rugby title winner. They have a Shield challenge this weekend against the Naki. And usually you would say Taniwha probably struggle. When you think they're 9 and 10 are knocking Rivers Rayhana, they're every chance.
Oh, yes.
They are every chance. They've got key players and key positions. So Rivers, can he carry on his title-winning form and take Taniwha to the promised land and win the Shield this weekend?
Oh, they very much could, but you didn't answer the question. Your Dwayne Monley medalist.
I'm going Petafeta.
Oh, it's Stephen Petafeta.
Yep.
So your champion must be Auckland.
No, I'm not convinced that they'll be champion just yet. I like Tasman. Tasman always going to be there, thereabouts. Of course, Tasman will be hugely affected on the next All Black squad selection.
I agree entirely. And I don't know if Blackadder and Havili and Finlay Christie, because Noah Hotham has now been ruled out for at least 8 weeks.
Yes.
You'd imagine that Finlay Christie's in the All Blacks. Who else is it?
Yeah, I know. If not Finlay, then who? Yeah.
So 3 of those guys from Tasman are going to be pulled out, I would imagine, over the next month.
However, firstly, I'll say yes, Finlay should be the half, but
if they've decided
that he's not
Then who?
Well, that's the thing.
Who is it?
I don't know. We're in for a surprise. I would have said Hasty, but Hasty didn't play after about 6 games for the Landers.
So who would be actually putting their hand up from who you can think about in Super Rugby? Folau Fakatava hasn't been in the All Blacks for a number of years now.
But he's the one I start thinking of. I mean, the other Crusaders boy, there was a lot of smoke around him.
Kyle Preston.
There was a lot of chat around him. I think they would possibly go there. As I said,
we're looking at an injury replacement here, not a permanent.
No,
because Noel will be back, but he is out. They've got a lot of injuries.
I know.
A lot of Tyrell Lomax has been ruled out again
It's disappointing
for a number of weeks.
Anyway, I can't wait. The NPC.
Okay, yeah, we're getting off topic.
We are.
So, your champions, Tasman. My final.
Mulu, sorry. Tasman Mulu's in the final.
Tasman Mulus. Okay, I'm going Tasman Bay of Plenty. Bay of Plenty to beat Waikato in the semi-final to reach a back-to-back finals.
Back-to-back finals, there you go.
That'll be my finalists. Okay, we're back to predictions.
Okay.
Beav, round 1 of the NPC.
Yep.
Since we don't have internationals at the moment. Lions? Do we touch Lions?
Yeah, I'm going to predict the Wallabies.
Okay.
Yep. Lions have been on the booze. Lions been on the booze for 5 days, and they put out the second stringers.
And your bold prediction of Aiden Ross playing in another match against the Lions was correct. Yes. He is going to get a cap. He is going to get a Wallabies cap after playing in the Super Rugby final for the Chiefs. He then played for the Reds against the Lions. He then played in, what was the next one that he played in?
The New Zealand Oz game.
The New Zealand Australian, and now a test in Sydney. What a great moment for Aiden Ross. Look, I'd still rather him be a Bay of Plenty this weekend.
Of course.
We're going to miss him on Sunday against Tasman.
And the other thing that I found not surprising and showed all the reason, even after there was a bit of hysteria when he added him, Owen Farrell going out there with 10 or 15 to go.
Yeah.
It was not a surprise.
No, you predicted that.
The only thing that surprised me is they got a penalty on about halfway with about 10 to go, and I thought, here it is.
Here's the moment.
Owen Farrell, go, kick
come
that.
With the man, come with the hour.
But they went for the corner, brave. But that's why they've played all tour. They have played a great brand of footy.
Okay, so you're going Australia.
I'm going to Australia.
13 plus.
Yeah, why not? Let's really
hammer it home. Put the nail in the coffin.
Go you Wallabies,
Send
go.
those Lions back.
Yes.
I'm going Wallabies 1-12. And it's even Stevens on the prediction front, by the way. Round 1 of the NPC, Thursday night. Auckland, Waikato. Instead of 1-12, shall we just go head to head here?
Mulus.
Mulus? Yeah, Waikato. Auckland have got a few injuries, I hear. So
Leonard Brown playing?
Yes, he is.
Fantastic.
Auckland don't have anyone back.
No.
No, they don't even have many All Blacks, to be fair.
Not these days, no.
No. Manawatu, North Harbour.
Let's go Brett Cameron, on the back of Brett Cameron.
Oh, I'm going on the back of Patrick Pellegrini.
Pellegrini, of course, yeah.
Patrick Pellegrini, another hero.
Is Braden Yorsay fit and available? Hope so. Wonderful NPC
You do
player.
the research for the teams that you're picking, Beav.
You good, Braden? Good.
Wellington, Canterbury.
Blockbuster.
Huge.
My old Mulu mate, first head coaching week. So shout out to the party starter, Trent Renata.
Yes, so
Wellington get it done.
Wellington for me too. Go on, your Trent. Southland, Otago.
Battle
Love
of the
all
South.
these battles.
I know a few of our Southland friends all getting together for a bit of a knees up, as they say.
Yeah, and Invercargill,
And
this one too. Rugby
so
Park.
Whopper and Cabbage and the crew, they will, well, you never know if Cabbage, he might be playing. But
He probably will be. You played on the weekend for you.
The crew will be getting together. So Southland at Rugby Park. Love Otago coming to town and sticking it up them. Always the chip on the shoulder around the injustices around the Highlanders selection. So I'm going to Stags.
Is De Groot playing? Oh, they didn't release him, did they?
No.
I'll go Otago.
Moana, number 8. One of the great stories of Super Rugby.
Yes.
Went up there on a just asked to train.
So he's with Invercargill.
He's a Southlander.
He's Southland.
Yeah.
Oh, big.
Big inclusion.
Well, that's similar to Miracle. You feel sorry for some of the players that he's coming up against, don't you?
There you go.
Taranaki, Northland. This is it. This is the Shield.
Shield on the line.
7:05 Saturday.
Yeah.
Blockbuster at Yarrow Stadium.
Taranaki by Whisker.
After what you
After
just
talking
said.
up the Taniwha.
Knock and Rivers is your Super Rugby combination there.
Yep.
It'll be the Naki for me.
Yep.
Neil Barnes.
Barnesy.
And there will be someone that gets picked up for Super.
Of course, Jared Hoiata just got back from the under-20s campaign. So that's a lot of the coaching crew there with Barnesy controlling it all.
A Bay of Plenty, Tasman. at the Domain here on Sunday afternoon.
Oh, the Domain.
Yeah, it'll be. Yes, Babe, of course.
Tasman, of course, for me. Couple of boys there to press their All Black envelope.
I reckon there might be a few late All Black scratchings. They go, oh, you know what? We need these boys. We can't get anyone injured, so training injuries.
No, I think Razor said, show me you want it. Show me you want it.
Hawke's Bay counties. Hawke's Bay, show me your title credentials. I'm going you. I'm all you. Beav's got to back his team.
Yeah, I've got to go counties.
There
With
you go.
Dalton and Hoskins, though.
Yes, yes.
Powerful.
Show us you want it.
Show us you want it, boys.
Show us you want it.
Cam Roygard, are you appearing? Yeah, probably not.
That is the Aftermatch. Would love to have you involved in the program. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment away what you think the Black Magic most iconic moment and iconic team was. 1996 All Blacks or those Rugby World Cup winners in 2015 Beef.
Yeah, and hey, if you love your footy and you love your fishing, then, of course, Black Magic Tackle and the Aftermatch sort you out. If you're looking for anything black, of course, the All Blacks, the Black Ferns, a couple of legendary teams, even some Black Marlin, head over to blackmagictackle.com for all your fishing advice and necessities to make sure you win the battle out on the water.
Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week on the Aftermatch.